sometimes I can get this to actually show kind of big, and then other times I can't. I'll go to a crack. It's pretty strange. Oh. See me a crack. I like when I can get it up a little more. Oh, did it. Look at that. Did it. So, I was unfortunately unable to kill the goddamn fly that greeted me when I opened up this door. After, as usual, crashing on my mom's couch. Opened up this door, and of course it was cold, and then flies started buzzing around. I wasn't able to kill it, but I tricked it by shutting off the lights in here and then opening up the door, and it went out in the hall. So I let it buzz around the rest of the house and leave me be. Kate Winslet has a new. My face is peeling a little bit from the tea tree soap. It's okay. Tea tree soap's good for you. Kate Winslet has a new Lancome commercial where, according to her, you cannot, a woman cannot be beautiful unless she's happy. You're only truly beautiful if you're happy. I guess I can't, despite the fact that there are, still, even to this day, men and women out there who think I'm beautiful and call me beautiful. I guess I can't be beautiful because I'm not even remotely happy. And in fact, if we're perfectly honest, I'm downright miserable. Might even be crazy. Thinking that when I'm laying on my mother's couch, doesn't mean I'm stupid. One does not preclude the other. You can be both crazy and extremely intelligent. One doesn't preclude the other, and one doesn't negate the other, What else is new? Last night I came to my mama's and, she started in with irrelevant stuff because it isn't relevant. Worry about it. Cross the bridge when you come to it, Mom. Mom, if I have to go to court, I don't have anything to wear. I'm like, Mom, I'm living in a fucking homeless shelter, You have so much support. You have a huge support system with your social worker and with, your friends and with your lawyer and whatnot. I'm living in a shelter, Mom, and I'm going through hell. I've said this to her before, and I don't say it mean, and I don't say it in a melodramatic manner. I'm just like, I want to die. It's like, I can't deal with you. Well, if I have to go to court, I don't have anything to wear. Buy something to wear, Mom. Find something to wear. I said, what about wearing that dress? What about wearing that dress you wore when you had to go before the lawyer in the wrongful death case? And then she thought about the dress, and she goes, well, I don't have any shoes. It's like, Mom, please, I'm going through hell. I'm not doing good. I am not doing good. therapist is tired of me canceling appointments. You know, because I canceled the appointments when I was cousin. And she said, I don't know. She's like, if you, I'll have to put you on a attendance agreement. They don't want you to just go when you want and then not go. It has to be consistent. It's like, it can be every 2 weeks, every 1 week, but it has to be a set thing. What's an attendance? Well, then if you don't show up, or unless it's like really an emergency or something, I'll terminate your therapy. I can't help you if you're only come every 2 weeks, it's every 3 weeks, every month. It hasn't been like that. I have to figure out when I've come. I think she's exaggerating. I'm gonna get my history. I'm gonna find out the days I've gone there. And I told her the very moment I started therapy with her, that I had to go to LA and close up my storage unit. That I have a flight credit that I need to use. And I'm not going to give up that flight credit. It's $350. So I can't tell you why I'm miserable in the shelter. I will say, when you're me, and lots of people can be affected by this, depends what kind of person you are, what kind of outside support system you have to deal with things. But for me, it only takes one person, one crazy bitch in that shelter, because I might be crazy, but I'm extremely considerate and whatnot. I'm not mean to anybody. It only takes one crazy bitch or two to make life absolutely miserable for the rest of us, One crazy bitch who thinks she's entitled, who's just cuckoo, and who, won't be considerate in the middle of the night when people are trying to sleep. All that crap that goes on in a shelter when you're dealing with a lot of not so sane people who have numerous problems. I most definitely do. I listened to that message Marion left on my mom's cell phone. Marion sounds like such the loving sister, and even said, to my mom, she wasn't mean. She said it really nicely, and, like she's gonna make herself out to be like an angel or a saint, an angel just watching out for the best interests of her sister. That's what Mary's going to do. It's what, even in the message, it says, I just wanted to let you know, Samantha, that I'm going to petition the court to get a conservator to handle your finances. And that's it. And she didn't say mean or anything. She said, have a great life. But we have to keep in the back of our head, in the forefront of our minds. We have to remember at all times the phony 911 call, the taking away of my mom's credit card, all this stuff Marion did so she could just reign in her power over my mother, And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if my mother ultimately has Marion back in her life. Listen, nothing I can do about that. I would be surprised. My mom's like me, you know. Wants to believe the best in people, wants to believe people on the up and up. I'm not doing good. I was already upset about robbing my suicide, and I found out things about that woman who was helping me. Remember, who was supposed to be helping me, that she got completely submerged. I mean, like just drowned in her own problems, and she can't help me. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I could tell her. I gave her a 2-minute update, you know. But, you know, so it didn't even matter there, because my mom got her own lawyer, and, you know, she's fighting this on her own after all these years, and I can't tell you anything personal the lawyer decides to do, and I'm not gonna do that. But I can tell you, like, how Marion called and said she was gonna get a conservator. I'm sure she was gonna petition the courts. And then my mom called her lawyer and said, you know, it's hard to get that, you know. Yeah, but my mom has a history, and I said that to my mom. I was like, yeah, but you have a history of being in a mental hospital for 35 years. And my mom goes, she was got all upset. She's like, is that long? Oh my God, Mom. You guys already know how upset I am. My mother doesn't even remember that she first got sick when I was 10. You know, yeah, it's been 35 years, Mom. I hope you told your lawyer that, right? No. Mom, if Marion is playing hardball and planning to get a conservator to handle fences or trying to scare you, you know, everyone just tells her, you know, my cousin and my uncle and the lawyer and so the social worker all say to my mom, well, Marion's just trying to scare you, yeah, but a judge might listen to Marion. We have to be realistic here. My therapist, I talked about my therapist said, well, probably a judge isn't even going to look at what your mom did 5 years ago. A judge will look at the fact that your mother was recently hospitalized for 3 months, you know, the thing my mother's supposedly competent psychologist completely glossed over. My mom was recently hospitalized for 3.5 months, committed everything. So yeah, a judge probably will listen to Marion, you know. And in the end, I don't trust my mom's lawyer worth shit. He's super busy. My mom asked him, a lawyer's supposed to be there for you and do what you say, as far as I know. And my mom told him, asked him, whatnot, you know. See, she asked, whereas she told him she wants my cousin to be able to converse directly with him. Oh, I only want to deal with my clients. I'm not going to talk to your niece. You know, yeah, but my mom's out of it, you stupid ass. She didn't even tell you. You need to be aware so you're not blindsided by Marion, you know. Marion got my mom committed, or not committed, I mean, got her on mandatory shots or something when I was 16. Marion's one that did that. I mean, my mom has a long time history, despite what she wants to think or chooses to remember, you know. She has a 35-year history of being in and out of mental hospitals, and the most recent was recent, of 3.5 months. Yeah, a judge damn well might listen to Marion, you know, who's going to tout herself as being just the concerned sister. This is a big fucking mess. And I'm miserable. And I'm lonely. I'm so fucking lonely. So lonely. Can't take the loneliness again. Crazy, and I'm lonely, and I want to die. And, you know, my therapist was like, well, if you don't come, I'm like, you know, I said to her, but I've always called. I'm like, you know, it's not like my cousin's gonna be here anymore or whatnot. And, you know, it's like, I'm caught up in all this crap. She's like, well, if you don't come consistently, then I can't help you. I'm thinking, I don't believe for 1 second you can help me. Not for 1 solitary second do I believe you can help me. I'm just going through the motions with you. I'm going through the motions in life itself. I don't want to fucking be here, but I don't want to die either, so I'm just like... I see the bullshit, that's the problem. I see right through the bullshit, and I can't deal with it. Whereas Joe sees through the bullshit. But Joe's alone and doesn't care because he works full time, and then he's a lifetime musician, you know, so he has his music, and he said to me, he's like, I don't have time for friends and whatnot between work and full time and taking care of my house and doing my music and eating, you know, or getting food and preparing meals and whatnot. And he's like, there's going to be no time for you don't mind being alone. I hate being alone. But then again, being with Donald was worse than being alone. Remember, I didn't have any friends. I just had him. That's how he wanted it. That's how a lot of abusers, people with abusive personalities, it could be a man or a woman who has an abusive personality, you know. They often want their person they abuse just to be totally devoted to them. They don't want that person to have friends or outside, whatever, you know. I found out some shocking shit about that woman, and I trust the source, and I give people the benefit of the doubt, and my source was like, well, you know, I mean, you're in a shelter, what do you think these people do or are? And I said to her, I'm like, you know that I'm not in there for any of that, right? I have no criminal record to speak of. And she's like, you don't want to say to speak of. Why? I thought that was emphasis. She's like, no, when someone says to speak of, because she's like, why do you have something in your past? And when people say, she says that if people say to speak of, I have no criminal record to speak of, it means I have no criminal record now, but there could be something tainted in my past. I said to her, I thought that was just making an emphasis. I'm like, no, I have no criminal record at all, you know. And I don't do drugs, and, you know, over 20 years ago, whatever, long time ago anyway, 15 years ago, whatever it was, I tried ecstasy, that I've smoked pot here and there through my adult life, you know what I mean, but, so I don't do drugs, and don't have any kind of history of doing drugs, or have any criminal records, but, you know, obviously a lot of people in a shelter do have that. And I guess if someone's nice enough, I trust, you know, especially if you're telling me a whole bunch of shit, I figure, okay, that's your past, and you cleaned up your act. But if I find proof or saying otherwise, or, you know, just puts another nail in my coffin, because my naivete makes me ill. It makes me ill. I'm not as naive as I used to be, and I don't trust as easily as I used to, but, you know, believe, but, you know, if somebody's super nice and don't do anything to hurt, if some person doesn't do anything to hurt me and is super nice and whatnot, yeah, I'm gonna believe that's who that person really is, you know. I'm not saying that woman did anything at all to me. She didn't. I just don't like finding out something that I didn't know, you know. And I don't want her to know I know. Because my source was like, well, don't go telling people this, you know. I'm like, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to tell anyone but my mother and my therapist, you know what I mean? I'm not going to tell anybody. And why would I? I don't even want the woman to know that I know, you know? But of course it's going to upset me. So everything upsets me. I mean, last night I told my mom I want to die, but she didn't get upset because it's not like, I'm just saying it as a matter of fact thing. I'm not saying it ranting and raving or being melodramatic or, you know. I'm just saying it as a matter of fact. And then Joe, I told him a little bit about what's going on and the thing, and he's like, yeah, Mom, better be careful. I watch the ID channel, and a lot of times in these situations, family, when it comes to money, evil entities take over the person, and, you know, I hope your mother has double locks on the doors, and you know, on the ID channel, family members, you know, it's often homicides are usually family members. You know, I'm not saying that Mary would do that, but you never know. She might hire someone to harm me. I told my mom that Mary's not going to hurt me. I know that's what everybody says until it actually happens to them. Yeah, Marion sounds all sweet and concerned and loving on the brief message, and she's letting my mom know she's not doing it behind my mom's back. I don't know, it's all fucked. Remember, this is the same woman, the same day she wrote that nice condo note, then she winds up from the phony 911 call, you know? And then a few weeks ago, on Friday, she calls my mom screaming and yelling, yelling, getting upset. My mom bothering at that place she hangs out, the place Cheryl works for, and, you know. And then Sunday, Mary comes over and pretends she's concerned for me, and she's all nice. You know, she let me in. My mom didn't want to let her in. She locked the screen door in the front, so Mary couldn't come in. And when Mary did, she went to the back door and came in anyway. But she was nice, and, you know, it's like she goes back and forth. She vacillates between being nice and being not so nice. So it's like probably 2:30. Mom's gonna be up with the dogs. But this is my only time to create a video. The lawyer won't talk directly to my cousin. It's the way it goes. I don't think any of this is gonna work out the way my mom thinks it will or wants it to or not. does when he's all excited that he's gonna get his food. I did crash on the couch for hours. Time to go to bed. I'm so exhausted. I don't sleep anymore. I don't sleep. I'm so fucked up. It's like, remember that? Why don't you move in with my friend? My therapist, I just really don't want to live with somebody who is your friend, you know? Yeah, but you don't want to be in the shelter in the wintertime either, and yeah, I know. It sucks.